What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how I got into dropshipping with $1,000. I come out with videos every single Monday about dropshipping and how to brand your stores, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So I used to work at a paintball field, and I worked there for about 4 years or so, and by the end of each month I usually saved up around $1,000 that I used a lot towards dropshipping and testing product. When I first started about a year and a half ago, so in the beginning I tested tons and tons of products. I probably tested over 30 to maybe even 40 products in total in order to find something that actually sold for me. And you can see here I tested a wide variety of products, whether that was a humidifier, these pillows, and these products ideally, like they were considered winning products, but I just wasn't able to sell them correctly. And I started a store, it failed, I ran out of money, and I just repeated that same process over and over again. And by this point, a lot of people would have given up already. And what I usually did is I'll spend some money on ads and do product research. I'll break even and then I'll restart. I'll lose money and then save up from work again, and then I'll just rinse and repeat that over and over again, testing all these different products. And this took me a very, very long time. So I'd say about a year later, I spent at least $5,000 with these same results, but I noticed that I was getting better and better with my stores, with how I would structure my ad accounts, with how I would choose my product. What I've noticed is that a lot of YouTubers will say, oh yeah, I started with $100 or $500. Honestly, that is not realistic. What they probably mean is that they spent that money, it didn't really work out for them, so they went back to the regular job, saved up some more money, tried it again, and then they just kept reinvesting that same money over and over. And I think that's something that not a lot of people talk about, and that's kind of what happened for me. So later down the road, I started to break even more. I was doing bigger numbers. I had better ads, better stores, better products. And one thing that worked a lot for me, especially for the mindset that you have to have when you get into this, is you need to stay in the game. You cannot give up. And a lot of people go through the same thing that you're going through right now, and that's testing a billion different products and stores in order to find that one winning product or to really have a store pop off. So you guys can see here, these are just a couple of stores that I started, and for these two stores specifically, I really started to see an improvement in how I was testing products, how I was setting up my stores, choosing products. And these stores didn't really do that well for me. I either broke even on them, lost a little bit of money, made a little bit of money. But with these stores, I was able to prove to myself that, hey, this is actually working. I'm getting better and better at this. And maybe if I start my next store, that's going to be the one that really goes off. And I sort of had the same concept in order to push me through all these different products that weren't working out for me. And for this store that you can see here that I made 50 grand on, at this point I realized the potential with dropshipping, and I actually got a credit card. I got an American Express Gold credit card, which I highly recommend you guys use, especially if you start seeing money coming in with dropshipping, because that card has no limit on it. So if you are able to start scaling, it'll scale with your product, and then that way you don't really have to worry about just taking money out of your pocket, and that way you can pay it later on. And so at this point, like with these stores, they simply just died off, and I really didn't want to run them anymore because there was very little profit with them. But at the end of the day, I learned a lot and I understood what works now, and I applied that same concept to my next store. And then finally I had a pretty big major breakthrough of August of last year, and I did $650,000 in sales, and this was by far my best store. I had the best ads, and I really learned the most with this store overall, and I think that's the most value that I got out of it, aside from the money that I was making with it. And this is going to be the most important part of the video, because if you're able to apply these same concepts with any store that you start, regardless if it's a quote-unquote winning product, then you're really just going to be able to pop off an amazing brand and really increase your chances of finding an amazing product. And what I learned is that you can basically sell anything if you get your branding right, and branding is such a powerful thing. And when you're able to prove to somebody that they need a product, or a product is very unique or worth buying, then you're going to be able to put a price tag on it that completely blows everyone else out the water. Like I was charging double and sometimes even triple the amount of my competitors, and that's because I have a very cool website, brand, and it's the quality, the perceived value of the product that people see, so they're willing to spend that extra buck in order to get something that's better than everything else. Now that doesn't necessarily mean my product was better than other brands out there, but like I said, it's that perceived value or branding as to why someone would purchase it. It's the same concept with brands like Dr. Squatch or Hey Silky Skin. I'm pretty sure there's other brands out there that sell much more quality products than they do, but they're able to sell it, they're able to market it so well that people look at it and they connect to it, they relate to it. So they're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy this because I see a higher value with this brand than I do with another one. And overall, I realize that I need to test quality, not quantity, and just go for low-key products that not a lot of people are selling. I see all these different strategies in the groups and stuff like that of people trying to test a billion different products at a time. I think I saw one dude, he was trying to test 900 products in his store at the same time. I'm like, that's absolutely insane. You don't want to do that. You're just going to waste a ton of money and time. You need to focus on quality products, you know, products that have a wow factor, a demand, a sole purpose, and go for products that not many people are selling. Because if you're able to have this mindset going into a product that doesn't have a bunch of competitors, then you're going to be able to dominate that market, and then, you know, just completely annihilate anyone else that tries to compete against you, and really identify myself or create an amazing brand around this product that's really going to stand out from all the different people trying to sell something similar. And if you guys want to sort of understand exactly more about this branding concept and how I applied it to the product that I was selling, you can definitely check out that video down in the description below of how I, you know, created this brand, what I did, what I focused on, and you guys can apply those same concepts to your own stores. So currently what I'm doing is I'm focusing more on long-term brands, and I really understand the concept of not just trying to start a store, make money for 6 months or so and then drop it. You want to focus a lot more on larger profit margins as opposed to revenue, because what I see now is that people are able to make, you know, 6-figure, 7-figure months, but their margins are very low. And there might be somebody out there that's making $50,000 a month or even $40,000 a month, and they have higher margins because they might have higher margins and higher profits than the person making $1 million a month. And that's pretty crazy to me, but I sort of understand what I need to focus on now. And you just don't need to be pumping all this money into ads over and over again. You need to really hone down on choosing a product that you can brand, that stands out, and build a long-term brand around it without trying to cater to all the different product trends that are currently going on Facebook or Instagram. And all in all, you really can't start dropshipping with any less than $1,000. If you do, you're just not going to be able to take that money and test properly, and you're not going to be able to keep up with the amount of orders that you get, and you're going to have to wait for the payout, stuff like that. So you're going to need a credit card. You're going to need, you know, ideally more than $1,000. I expect to spend at least a couple $1,000s before you even find a good store or a product that starts winning for you. So honestly, if I were to start over, I would start with at least $1,500 or more, and that way you're going to have a good sum of money in order to test properly, especially with your creatives. And you guys need to focus a lot more on good creatives and custom creatives, and mainly because on, you know, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook for specific products, you see the same content being reused over and over and over again. And if you guys do the same thing, you know, finding clips on Facebook or YouTube and just compiling them together, millions of other people are going to be doing the same thing, and there's no, you know, uniqueness with it. You're not going to stand out, and if you don't stand out, well, you're not going to have an actual brand. And then another thing too is a lot of people, and I did this too, is I try and sell a competitive product that everyone else is trying to sell. You know, whether that's the laser epilators, a posture corrector. That's something that you guys don't want to do, especially if you're a beginner and have a limited budget. A lot of people have the same mindset, so you want to go for products that are low key, not a lot of people are selling. And if there are some sellers, you can improve on whatever they're doing and have a better website, you know, have better ads, and really just dominate the market, so you don't really have to worry about other competitors out there, you know, beating you just because they have more capital. And then lastly, you guys want to have a credit card. Now, usually I'll recommend this if you start seeing numbers and get some revenue in. I don't know about getting a credit card right off the rip, mainly because you might get a little bit carried away with it, and you might not be able to pay back whatever, you know, you spent your credit card on, whether that's ads, you know, your website, creative stuff like that. And obviously keep your guys' jobs if you are, you know, just getting into this. Just don't quit and then try and go all in on dropshipping. It doesn't work like that, and you need some sort of cash flow in order for you guys to keep up with your ads, your orders, all that stuff. And then once you see good consistent income, I'd say anywhere from 4 to 6 months or more, then you can think about, quitting your job. But like I said, you just need to focus on your branding, and that's mainly going to be your creatives, your website, and the product that you choose. And people love custom content. People don't want to be seeing the same clips over and over and over again. And when you have custom content, people are going to remember that, and they're going to, whenever they see this, they're going to associate that with your brand, especially, if you're one of the first people to jump on a product. And believe it or not, if you're able to invest a little bit of money into having a good camera, some lighting equipment, and taking some good pictures and videos, then you're going to be saving a lot more money in the long run, instead of spending anywhere from $500 even $1,000 on custom creatives that really aren't done all that well. And then on top of that, you really don't have to worry about copyrights or anything like that on Facebook or using YouTube clips. But yeah, guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully you got some pretty cool value out of it and sort of understand more about the power of branding and how you guys can apply it to your stores. If you guys like my channel, make sure you like down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Peace.